Hello everyone. So today I am going to discuss a topic of drug interactions. In this topic I will discuss about what do you mean by the drug interactions, what are the different types of drug interactions, and on what mechanism these drug interactions happen. So let's start with the definition part. Yes, so drug interactions involves combination of medications, as the name mentions, drug. So there is an involvement of the medication with any other substances. Here the other substances means it could be drug, any other drug, it could be any herbal supplement, it could be interaction with laboratories test, it could be the interaction with food. So these all substances, when they are interacted with medication, we call it as a drug interaction. They alter the medication effect. Of course, after the interaction, the effect of the medication will change. Either it will increase, either it will decrease, or there will be neutralization on the body. This can cause the medication to be less or more potent, as I told you, than intended, or result in unexpected side effects. Interactions between drugs can lead to serious unwanted effects or reduction in the therapeutic effects of some drug substances. Now we will study what are the different kinds of drug interaction. So we can see there could be drug-drug interaction. There could be the interaction with the food. Sometimes what happened? Drug interacted with milk or any other, maybe it may be fatty food, it may be cheesy food. So this happens in the drug food interaction. Then there is a drug alcohol interaction. Drug can interact with alcohol also. Drug can interact with a disease also. Some patients are suffering with a comorbid situation. In that condition, what happens? Drug interacting in the disease condition. Then drug can interact with a laboratory test. If a person is taking any of the drug, what can happen? There can be a change in the measurement. There can be change in the levels of the laboratory test. Now, what are the causes of drug interaction? Why interaction happens? So it can start with the dispensing of the drug. Not only the dispensing, there could be also prescription part. If there is any change in the prescription, there is any inappropriate prescription, dispensing is not correct and administration is not correct. So we will see what are the causes. First cause is a wrong choice of drug. So it is the part of the prescription. Failing to take account of renal function, not only renal function, liver function also. If the patient is suffering from any of the disease in which the liver function is compromised, in which the renal function and liver function is compromised, means because the drug is metabolizing and excreting from these two organs. So it is very important when there is a prescribing of drug by the doctor to the patient, it is very essential, it is very important to note on these points. Then there is a wrong dosage. If the patient is taking, a patient has to take 100 mg, but the patient is taking 200 mg or more, or it may be the case of the less drug, a patient is taking less dose. So if there is a wrong dosage, the patient is taking the drug by the wrong route of administration, the patient is doing any of the errors in taking the drug, then what happens? There is a chances of interaction, and these interactions are happening, and after this the medication effect is altered. Either it is increasing, either it is decreasing, or there is a neutralization in the effect. Then coming to the next point called as a beneficial interactions. Sometimes what happens when the two drugs or drug is interacting with any of the substances, the result of these interaction is beneficial, as the name mentions. So we want these type of interactions, and we are using, means the prescribing pattern. In the prescribing pattern, we are using these type of interactions to, as a part of the therapy. In a combination form, we are prescribing the therapies. So these type of interactions are beneficial. Now we can see what are the beneficial interactions means. So beneficial interaction, pharmacokinetic interactions are there, beneficial pharmacodynamic interactions are there. Yes. So pharmacokinetic interaction, in this part, what happens? Improvement of the bioavailability of the drug. Then if prolongation of drug plasma level is there. What we want in the point number 1 and point number 2, we can see if any drug is interacting with any of the substance a patient had taken, and there is an increase in the bioavailability, which we want actually in the treatment of any of the disease. At that time, the interaction act as beneficial interaction. Similarly, in the point number 2, we can see prolongation of drug plasma level. If the patient is suffering from the absorption problem and the interaction is giving more of the drug available in the plasma, what happens? At the time, the drug is present in the plasma and it is giving a good effect. So these type of interactions we can use for the treatment part. Similarly, beneficial pharmaco interactions are there, in which the drug is affecting as additive and synergistic effect, means two drugs are interacting and they are giving higher effect. So they are called as additive and synergistic effect. Another class is called as adverse interactions. As we have discussed, the interactions could be beneficial. Similarly, the interactions can be adverse interaction, and if the drug interaction is adverse, then there is a problem. So we will discuss what are the adverse drug reactions and what is the management of these type of reaction, how to avoid these interactions. So an adverse drug reaction can be defined as appreciably harmful reaction. They are the harmful reaction, that's why it's important to read it, resulting from an intervention, means two drugs have reacted, or a drug is reacted with any of the substance and it is giving a harmful reaction related to the use of medicinal product. That's why it's very important to know the information from the patient. If the patient has suffered any of the adverse drug reaction with any of the medication before the in the previous experiences. So in this, a careful medication history can assist a prescriber in understanding the patient's previous experiences with drug, with treatment, particularly in identifying previous adverse drug reactions, and may preclude re-exposure to the drug, so that there would not be re-exposure to that drug which the patient has already suffered the adverse drug reactions. Yes, so we are doing the another type of interaction called as the adverse interactions. As we have discussed what do we mean by the adverse interaction, now we are going to discuss about what are the basic steps which we can use to prevent adverse drug reactions occurring. So first what we will do, identification of the subgroups of patients who are likely to be susceptible to adverse. Some of the patients who have already experienced adverse drug reactions in a previous in some of the previous experiences. So we will take that information so that if we are giving any of the new treatment to the patient, then avoid that particular drug. Another, ensure the treatment plan mitigates any possible adverse effects. How we can mitigate that? Of course, only or communicating with the patient that how the therapy is going on. So by this we can reduce the adverse drug reactions. Now there are mechanisms on which the adverse drug reactions or drug interactions actually happens. So interactions affecting ADME of one drug by another substances, they call as a pharmacokinetic drug interactions. Before this, I will tell you on what mechanism these drug interactions happens. So, there are two mechanisms. First mechanism is by altering the PK, means pharmacokinetic profile. Another is the pharmacodynamic profile. In the pharmacokinetic profile, what happens? There is an alteration in ADME. In a pharmacodynamic profile, what happens? Action on receptor activity. Yes? So, first, pharmacokinetic drug interactions, as a name mentions, I told you in the previously what? PK means ADME. So, interactions which affect either the absorption, either the distribution, either the metabolism or excretion of one drug by another substances. Absorption actually happens in the intestinal region or bowel. Distribution means the drug is going to the tissues part, binding to the plasma proteins. Another is the metabolism, it happens in the liver and the bowel. Excretion by the kidney. So, pharmacokinetic drug interactions, how the absorption is affected. Absorption can be affected by any three mechanisms: by gastric emptying, by altering the pH and by making the complex formation. So, there are two examples we have taken here. One is ciprofloxacin and penicillamine when it is interacting with the antacids, foods, any of the minerals, supplements containing metals such as aluminum, magnesium, iron, zinc, calcium ions. What happens? There is this mechanism work, chelation and the complex formation. This is causing the chelation of the ciprofloxacin and penicillamine. What happens? There is a formation of poorly soluble and unabsorbable complex formation, and of course, for which these drugs are given to the patient, they are not affecting properly. So, whenever these type of combinations are given, it is properly taken care that how to avoid it, how to alter the medication, and there is a change in the time of these medications to be administered. These type of things can be taken care while if these drug interactions are going on. So, levodopa, there is another option, another example, levodopa, lithium carbonate, mexiletine. These drugs are interacting with the anticholinergic drugs, and what happens? There is a delay in gastric emptying. When there is a delay in the gastric emptying, means the drug is taking time, much of the time from stomach to reach it into the intestine region. It will decrease the rate of absorption. So, whenever these type of drugs are given, so it is taken care that these type of interactions are avoided to get the better effect of these drugs. Another is the distribution. So, we are doing the pharmacokinetic drug interaction. In this, the second point is the distribution. If the distribution is affected, then there is also drug interaction happens by this mechanism. What happens in the distribution? Drugs are, after the absorption part, the drugs going to bind with the plasma protein. These plasma proteins can be albumin. So, in this figure we can see the protein is binded with the drugs. Yes, this is called as a plasma protein binding, and when this bounded drug is available free, then only it is going to show its effect. In the bounded form, the drug is not going to show its effect. So, it is very important to release it from the binding sites, and when the drug is freely available, it is showing its effect. Now, what happens? The sum of the drugs, as we have taken the example here, what happens? There is a displacement criteria. In this displacement, the drug interaction usually happens. So, we can see the example. First is the anticoagulant. When these anticoagulant drugs are given with any of the drug, means phenylbutazone or chloral hydrate, what happens? We can see it as anticoagulant drugs are binded with the albumins. Yes, and it is not showing its effects. Some of the drug which is freely available, it is showing its effect, but most of the drugs are binded to the proteins. Now what happens if phenylbutazone and chloral hydrate is given to the patient, then these phenylbutazone and chloral hydrate by competitive displacement, what they will do, they will go and they will take the site of the anticoagulants, where the anticoagulants usually binds up. What happens after the levels of the anticoagulant free drug available in the plasma, it will increase. So the effect of the anticoagulant, what they are doing, they are increasing the clotting time, and of course after that there is a risk of hemorrhage. Just because of that, the levels of anticoagulant is increased immediately. Yes. Another is the tolbutamide. If tolbutamide, because it is an anti-diabetic drug, and when it is given with the sulfonamides, we can take the same scenario as we have seen in the previous. Tolbutamide is binded with the albumins, and when the sulfonamides is given, administered to the patient, what happens, these sulfonamides will go and they will take the site of tolbutamide. The free amount of the tolbutamide increased immediately and increased hypoglycemic effect is seen. So whenever these type of drugs are given, we have to take care of these interactions. Another is the metabolism, how we can reduce the metabolism or increase the metabolism. There are some of the interactions. See, so in the metabolism, the main role is of enzymes, because the enzymes are responsible for the metabolism of drug or any of the substances. Now these enzymes, the level of the enzymes are increased or decreased by any of the drugs or any of the substance, then the drug interaction happens. So we can say the two scenarios here, enzyme induction or enzyme inhibition. In enzyme induction, what happens? There is an increased levels of enzymes. In enzyme inhibition, there is a decreased level of enzymes. Yes, we can say the examples here. In enzyme induction, as I told you, the levels of enzymes are increased by rifampicin. This rifampicin drug is called as enzyme inducer. Yes, so this will increase the level of enzyme with which oral contraceptives, oral hypoglycemics, these agents usually metabolized. Now what happens when the levels of enzyme is increased by the rifampicin, more of the enzymes are available for the metabolism of these types of drugs. What happens? There is a decreased plasma levels, because the amount of the drug is now less. Yes, just because of the metabolism. In the second, we can see by enzyme inhibition, what happens? These metronidazole and phenylbutazone, they are called as a enzyme inhibitor. What they will do? They will decrease the level of enzymes. So more of the amount of the drug is available in the plasma, because they are not usually metabolized. Coumarins. So coumarins, it is showing the anticoagulant activity. Now this activity will be increased, because the level of enzymes with which it is metabolized is decreased. Another is the excretion, how excretion is affected. So if there is a change in the active tubular secretion, yes, if there is a change in the urine pH, if there is a change in the renal blood flow, by any of these mechanism, if there is a change, is there any alteration, what happens? Drug interaction occurs. Here we can see two examples. Probenecid is given with a penicillamine. This is a combination we are using as beneficial interactions also. Yes. So in this, what happens? The probenecid is given with the penicillin, and it increases the level of penicillin in the plasma, means the antibiotic level will increase, and usually if we want, we can use this interactions. So what happens here, how this penicillin is increased in the plasma, we can see. What happens? This probenecid is blocking the transporter, and that transporter is useful for the excretion of penicillin. If this is inhibited, of course, the excretion is reduced. In that case, what happens? The amount of penicillin in the plasma will increase. In second of the example, we can see if NSAIDs, yani non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs are given with a lithium carbonate, which is given for the manic disorders. What happens? There is a decreased renal clearance of lithium, and if renal clearance is decreased, what happens? There is a toxicity. If drug is not going to be excreted out, this will cause the toxicity in the body. So, this is the adverse effect of the drug. In this excretion part, we have seen two of the examples. One is the beneficial interaction, another is the adverse interaction. Another mechanism, as I have discussed about the first mechanism, is a pharmacodynamic interaction. In that, either absorption, distribution, metabolism or excretion, these parts can be affected. In the second mechanism, pharmacodynamic drug interaction, here the effect part is we are going to see the receptor activity is altered. Yes. So, pharmacodynamic interactions are those in which the drug influence each other's effect directly. As I told you, how the effects is going to affect, the drug effect is influenced only by the receptor activity. So, these type of interactions are additive interaction and antagonistic interaction. In additive interaction, what happens when any of the two drugs or a drug is given with any other substance, it is giving the more effect. Yes. In antagonistic interaction, what happens? The effect is opposite. Yes. Or the effect of drug will reduced. So, we can see if non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs are given with glucocorticoids, what happens? As the non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs are responsible for gastric bleeding because they are reducing the prostaglandins. So, what happens? These two drugs in combinations will increase the effect of non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, and the chances of gastric bleeding will increase. In the second, we can see tricyclic antidepressants are given with the neuroleptics. What happen? They both have the anticholinergic property. So, they will increase the anticholinergic effect. Sometimes in the first scene we can't say it as a beneficial, but the second, if we want that as a therapeutic activity, we can use it as a beneficial interaction or can be used as a combinational therapy. Another is the antagonistic interaction. We can see if AC inhibitors, which is given for cardiac disorders, if it is given with the non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, the effect is reduced. Yes. Another, if levodopa is given with the classical neuroleptics, so the effect will be reduced. So, all of these what we have discussed is the what are the drug interactions, what do you mean by the different kinds of interactions and how the mechanisms are going on. So, the mechanism are basically two. One could be by pharmacokinetic interaction, in which we have discussed about how the absorption alters, there are the different mechanism for the absorption, how the distribution is going to alter, there are also different mechanisms, just like the plasma binding is affected, and there is a displacement of drug from the binding sites. Third is the metabolism, how the metabolism is affected. We have discussed about 2-3 points, as the enzyme induction is there, enzyme inhibition is there, there are the drugs which are called as enzyme inducers, the drugs which are called as enzyme inhibitors. So, they are going to affect the activity of another drug. Another is the excretion, how the excretion is affected. So, if the renal blood flow is affected, if the transporters are affected, in that case what happens? The by the excretion scenario, by this mechanism, the drugs are going to cause the interaction. Another is we have discussed about the second type of mechanism, which we call it as a pharmacodynamic interaction. The pharmacodynamic interactions, what happens? The effect is seen on the receptor sensitivity. The drug is going to affect the receptors and they are either going to increase the effect or going to decrease the effects. So, we have discussed the examples. I hope you got about the drug interaction. In the next session, we will discuss about the part number 2 of the drug interaction. Thank you so much everyone.